Okay. Let's start from the beginning. Okay,
The intro.
what did you mean by the intro? I didn't Did they have taglines? Because honestly, I saw the episode early, and the copy I got did not have taglines. Did they have
They
taglines?
didn't have taglines. What I'm talking about, no, they didn't have taglines.
Okay.
What I'm talking about is the intro, doom, doom, doom. You know, leading up to
The robbery?
the robbery, and I'm like, and I'm just what threw me about the whole robbery
Ooh.
was the fact that the robbers was walking like, oh well, we're just going next door to get a bag of sugar or some. I'm still, you know what I'm saying, like.
Uh-huh.
And then and I'm watch what's happened live, and she's talking about one kid was in the back, and I just didn't get it. One of her children was in the back of her in the closet at first.
Mm-hmm.
So how did the robbers get the dang gone quilt? And then she woke up with the flashlight in her face. Now, did you wake up with the flashlight in your face
Wait, I think she
first?
was already up. I think she said she was already up because she heard like a door open or something like that. She thought it was her kids. So when she
Yeah,
did not
yeah.
see her kids and she saw a fully formed adult with a flashlight, that's when I guess she got startled. No?
Well, yeah, she said that, but what was she did also say the kid she was in the closet and one of the kids was in the back because Andy asked her where were the kids,
Mm-hmm.
and she said one was. I don't know. I was confused because I know she lying. If I know I'm confused by her whole story, she looked good though. By the way, looked like
Gorgeous.
she looked like
Gorgeous.
she had some work done to her face, but she is absolutely stunning.
I feel bad for Dorit. Honestly, I feel bad. Because I hate that that happened to her, and I hate that they threatened her life and held her up at gunpoint. I mean, that's super
You think that
unfortunate.
was real? Come on now, Aaron.
I don't. Why would she lie about it? Why you think she would lie about that? You think she just
Because
totally made that story up?
because it was
You think she,
said last season that what's her husband PK was in a lot of mess, financial mess, you know, and and then when the guys broke the glass, she didn't hear that, but she heard the little pitter patter of feet. I know it's used to hearing the little pitter patter of feet, but she didn't hear that glass broke.
well, she was probably all the way up on the highest floor. The glass was all the way on the lower floor, so maybe it didn't make that big of a sound. That's what I
I
was
don't know.
thinking.
I don't know. I just think it's just for her to get that money for all that jewelry and stuff and the insurance
The
payment because
insurance money?
they need the money. They
Wow.
need the money. That's what it was allegedly said, last season that PK was in a lot of money problems. He had a lot of money problems going on. So I don't know. I just don't believe Dorito. I
Wow.
believe she's a chip off the old block, honey.
Ooh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
somebody said on Twitter, they found it really convenient and ironic that
Yep.
there were rumors about Dorit being fired at the end of last year's reunion because she didn't really
Right.
have a storyline. And then all of a sudden her house get
Mm.
taken from.
And then all of a sudden, Bravo's cameras are in the right angle at the right
You
time.
know what? Bravo's
Yep.
cameras were in the right angles at the right time. You are
Mm-hmm.
not lying about that. Cause
Mm-hmm.
I was
Yep.
like, you remember that episode 11 Hip Hop where they was looking at Mimi and Nico's sex tape, and Erica
Yeah.
was like, "This stuff is in different angles."
Yep.
I'm like, "Yeah,
Yep.
this was in
Yep.
different angles, baby."
That was a bad sex tape though, but on to the
Oh,
next one.
you saw it? Uh-oh.
What?
Ah,
Damn.
the shower
I see.
rod.
With Dorito, I'm just, like, oh well, okay. We'll see.
I feel bad for Dorito. I think she really got held
No.
up at gunpoint. They really threatened to kill her.
So did they find the people? Cause she
Sh
said yes on
No,
Watch What.
no, they didn't. She
She,
said no.
she said no. I was
Right.
wondering. So how them people gonna be in your house? I'm just confused.
She said that the culprits were not caught, which I find to be just so disappointing. I mean, what is LAPD doing out there? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Not a goddamn thing.
Yeah, yeah, but I just don't believe that story. Period. I'm sorry.
Wow.
I'm not.
So do you
I'm
believe
not.
but you believe PK was really out of town, right?
Well, they showed them coming from London.
Now, what I thought was weird is if you're coming from London, if your wife just got taken from, why would your first stop be Kyle Richards' house? I thought that was odd.
And why would you take 2 days to come from London?
That was also odd too. Like, if my wife just got held up at gunpoint, bitch, I'm taking the
I'm
first
on
flight
the
out.
all meetings are canceled ASAP.
Cancel everything.
Yes, yes, that's why he wasn't out of town.
Wow, but you saw him breaking down. So basically, for everybody who
Yeah.
didn't watch the show, Kyle hosted like this little event so that they could hear Dorit's story about the robbery and whatnot. Lisa was
Hmm.
there. Lisa Renna, Erica, Dorit, Mauricio, PK ended up showing up later on, and then Garcelle, which I was surprised to see. Um, and PK was just breaking down. He was crying. Dorit
Hmm.
was crying, talking about some, I don't
Hmm.
care about the material things. None of that matters.
Hmm.
She did a whole reenactment. And I was like, okay, I mean, this is interesting. I feel bad for sis. I love how everybody's coming together. It seems like a real sisterhood, like Atlanta. No?
Them some dumb people.
Oh,
I'm gonna tell you something. They rich and they dumb. If they all sit up there and believe that, look, I can cry at the drop of a dime. You hear me? I can cry at the drop of a dime. They act like they just like with last season with Erica Jane. Y'all knew that man had took them people's money, and Erica knew what was going on. Y'all act like she didn't know nothing. Now y'all saying you have hosting this thing for her, and everybody's supposed to believe that Dorito and her PK is no. I don't get it. I don't see how they can believe all that. Mm-mm, mm-mm, Aaron.
well, the
Mm-mm.
funny thing about it is before that scene even took place, during the day, right after Dorit's robbery, Sutton met up with Kyle Richards. They had a conversation, and Sutton totally disregarded Dorit's robbery. She was just like, oh, okay, well, I have my own fires that I'm putting out. My designer from Paris is coming in to LAX, and he's stuck at customs and immigrations, and I'm stuck and I'm stressed out. And Kyle Richards is sitting there like, Sutton, are you for real? Our friend just got held up at gunpoint. She just got robbed. She could have died. They could have murdered her. And you're
Team
talking
Sutton.
about your fashion designer?
Team Sutton. She know what's up.
And then Sutton said, I mean, well, that's what's my priority. That's what's important to me. Sorry I wasn't held up at gunpoint. And I was like, Sutton, no.
Team Sutton.
Sutton,
Team
no.
Sutton. That's my girl. That's why she gonna be the villain. Cause she sees straight through that mess. She sees straight. She got so much money. She wouldn't know what to dang gonna do. She sees straight through it. I'm like, yeah. She said, Cal said, you gonna let me finish? She was like, like, no, I don't want to hear
Sutton
this.
is not playing.
She ain't playing with
But
them
then
heifers.
she
I'm
came
telling
back out like 2 days ago and said, she didn't really understand the seriousness of the situation and she was being very insensitive.